So I'll be talking about NumPy and Pandas, but mostly I'll be dwelling a lot on NumPy, and it's going to be a practical section. So if you guys have your system beside you, you can just open your IDE, whether you are using Anaconda, PyCharm, or Google Colab, or whatever IDE you are using. So you can just pop into that. So NumPy, it stands for numerical Python, and I'm sure those that have that are presently practicing as a data scientist must have used this a lot. Even most of the time, they do use it in data analysis too, depending on what tools you are using for your data analysis. So it's a fundamental library that almost every Python tool use, and it is built upon NumPy, Pandas and OpenCV was built on NumPy, PyTorch, and some other tools like TensorFlow, Keras, and the like. So for me, I use NumPy mostly for scientific computing. It is very cool for scientific computing. There are a lot of things you can do with NumPy that you can't do with just ordinary list. So if you talk about NumPy, you are try to visualize a box holding your data. It's just NumPy. It works almost like Pandas, but NumPy just visualize a box, a square box that holds your number, such that you can work on it qualitatively in a very compact way. So for you to work with NumPy, you just say import NumPy as MP. So sorry, you guys will pardon me. I have my baby here disturbing me. Okay. So okay, for you to work with NumPy, you have to import NumPy as MP. That's in Python. NumPy as MP. So as I said, if you want to visualize NumPy, you have to visualize it as a one-dimensional, as a box of array. So we have different type of NumPy array. We have the one-dimensional array, we have the 2D array, we have n-dimensional array. So if those that did math a lot in school, I think math or further math, any one of them, the two, you can remember we did something called matrices. And matrices is just like a box having numbers. It contains numbers. So in NumPy Array, you can visualize it as also a matrix. So you can see my screen, right? For the first, you can see 2569. This is a one-dimensional array because it doesn't have any other outline underneath. So this is just in one dimension. If you hear one-dimensional array, just know that it is in one dimensional. And you have a 2D array, which is in 2 dimensions, x-axis and y-axis. So, and the shape for this one, you can say is easy to know. Shape 2 by 3. We have 2 in the x-axis and in the y-axis and 3 in the x-axis. So, and for n-dimensional array, it's easy for you to know that also. For this, the shape is 4 by 3 by 2. Easy to know. So, any box that looks like this in computing, in Python, in data science, you know that this is NumPy. And why do we work with NumPy? NumPy is very beautiful because there are a lot of things you can do with it that you can't do with lists. You know, in Python, you can also keep things in list, dictionary, and things like that. But NumPy Array makes it so simple to work with, especially one data type. So if you are going beyond, you know, in a list, in Python, we have different data type. We have integers, floats, we have what again, Boolean, a lot of other data types. So in NumPy array, most of the time, it works well when you have just one type of data type in the array. Like here, we have just a type of data type, which is an integer. Sometimes we can have combination of data types in Python, but if you have just one data type in a list, it's better you use the NumPy array because it works best. It makes your computing or your work very easy. So for you to work with NumPy array, the first thing, as I said before, the first thing is to import NumPy. It is a package, it's a module in Python. A module are predefined functions in Python. That is why Python is one of the most interesting programming languages, although it's arguable. Some people will say no, it is not. But I believe it's the most interesting because you have a lot of packages in Python that can help your computing or your coding very easy. And one of them is NumPy. It's a built-in function in Python. All you have to do is to import it and everything comes in and you work with. There are a lot of functions there that you can just call in and it will do whatever you want to do. So for this, I said import NumPy as MP. It's just the same thing as MP, just means that I don't want to be writing it in full. Any way I say NumPy is the same thing as MP. So yeah, I printed a version of my NumPy. There are different versions of NumPy. It gets updated often. So although there are most of the time few changes, you can just check the documentation online to see what changes happen to them. So for you to create a NumPy array, the first thing you have to know is that np.array works. This is a function that creates a NumPy array. So you can create a NumPy array from list. So now if you create a NumPy array, automatically this is what comes out. It arranges it stacks it as boxes 1, 2, 3. This is a one-dimensional array. So I'm going to just do a little comparison, Python and list, to see how beautiful NumPy array works. So this is a Python list. Please, if you are following me, can you just drop yes, I'm following you, or any emoji in the chat box so that I will know I'm not just talking to myself. So this is a Python list. We have 1, 2, 3. We want to use it as an example of Python list. And this is a NumPy array. For you to create a NumPy array from Python list is np.array, and you put your list in it. Very simple as that, np.array. So in Python list, you want to multiply. Okay, from here, I just want to check the type of the two of them. For A, you can see, let me run this again. A, we can see that it's a list, the class is a list, and the second one, B, we have changed it to an NumPy array, is numpy.array. So for here, for this line, we are trying to see how Python list works and how NumPy array works. So from here, we want to multiply each of the elements in this Python list A here. In this line 49, we want to multiply everything by 2. Each of this by 2. So for in Python list, this is how you have to do list compression. Very long thing to do. List compression. You will say for I times 2 for I in A. That's how it works, and you get your answer. That's 2 times 1, 2, 2 times 2, 4, and 2 times 3, 6. But in NumPy array, so beautiful, you will see that all you have to do is just a line, B times 2, and it works so easy as that, like matrices. So this is the same NumPy array for B, the same NumPy array. All I have to do is just B times 2, and it gives us the same answer. So you see that NumPy array make your code easier and more simple. So same thing, we want to add a Python list. We want to add a Python list A 1, 2, 3, and C 4, 5, 6. We want to add it together. Look at how we will do it in Python list. We have to zip A and C together for us to work with it. We have to zip it together. We say I plus j for I in j, so long. But in NumPy array, look at how simple we just do this. We just have to print, we just have to print b plus d, as simple as that, and it adds both together. So if you are working in Python, if you have not been using NumPy array for most of your data type, maybe adding, slicing, doing a lot of operation, you are missing a lot. You are missing a lot. In Python, code that will be 4 or 5 in number for just writing normally with list. In NumPy array, it's just have to maybe just a line or 2 lines. So that is how beautiful NumPy array works. So it can, I told you that there are a lot of data type in NumPy array or in Python, and you can also set those data type. Maybe you want your B, like we all know that B is an integer, 1, 2, 3, they are integers, and you want to set it to a float. Floats are data type that has points. 1.2 is a float, 5.679 is a float, 2.7896 is float. So we want to change it to float. As simple as that. You just have to set your D type equals to float, and it changes automatically to float. So the take home for NumPy array is that NumPy array is more compact, especially when there's more than one dimension. We'll still talk about that. I've told you that there are a lot of dimensions in NumPy array. It can be 1, 2, 3, or n dimension, as much as you want. So more compact. If you are working with more than one dimension, it's more compact. You can easily do a lot of things. It is faster than list when an operation can be vectorized. I told you, plus, minus, division, multiplication, a lot of things you can do that make it faster and easier than list. But when you want to append element to the end, it is slower than list. And it's usually homogeneous, can only work fast with elements of one type. I told you that if a NumPy array is becoming a combination of 2 or 3 data type, you have a string in it, you have an integer in it, you have Boolean in it, it becomes not very easy to work with them. So, but if you have just one type of data type, it's very cool to work with NumPy array. So there are different functions also in NumPy. You want NumPy to create random numbers for you. You want it to create a list, or sorry, an array of ones. You can just, this is just the code for that, np.ones. If it's 3, it creates 3 boxes of ones. You can change it to 4, you can change it to 4 or 5. For random, it just creates random numbers, random, pick random. We know there's a method in Python that it's random, a module in Python random that creates random numbers for you. It's also in NumPy array. You can create random numbers in NumPy array. So there are also some built-in methods in NumPy array that are very cool built-in method. We can just easily find the minimum value in a NumPy array. If you have a NumPy array of 1, 2, 3, you want to find the minimum value. It's easy to find that, and with this, we easily, is 1. Easily, p.max, we easily know that it's 3, and we can also find the sum. It's going to sum it 1 plus 2 plus 3, and it's going to give us 6. So that is how NumPy array works. So I told you we also have 2-dimensional array. Sometimes it might be confusing to know whether it's 2-dimension or 1-dimension. The easy way, I don't want to call it an hack, but the easy way I used to know whether an array is 1-dimensional or 2-dimensional, I just count the number of square brackets here. For here, there's 2 square brackets. I know that this is a 2-dimensional array because we have one in a box and another in a box. So this is a 2-dimensional array. So if you print it out, this is how it looks. For those doing matrix, it's now looking more like a matrix. So for 3-dimensional array, this is how a 3-dimensional array looks. This is 1, 2, 3. We have a 3-dimensional array here. So, and we can have n-dimensional array as much as you want. We still go there. So you can also check the dimension of an array. You have it's possible for an array to be 0 dimension. Possible, like this first one, just 42. It's a 0-dimensional array. It doesn't have any dimension. So an array can be 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, or n dimension. So for here, we can check the dimension of an array with just this simple code. So for here, we want to print the dimension of A, B, and C, and D. So with a.ndim, you know that n NumPy dimension is 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. So as simple as that. So creating an higher dimension, this is it here. You want to create an higher dimension of array. Higher dimension of array. So for here, we have 1, 2, 3. You want to make it a 5 dimension. This is the code to do that. This is the code to do that. 1, 2, 3, and put your ndim equals to 5. Here it creates the array in 5 dimensions. If you count the number of square brackets, like I said, the simple way I know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see, it's 5 square brackets. So from here, you know that it's 5 dimension. I wanna be a punk. So we can also do the same thing we do in lists. There's a thing we do in lists for those that for those in that have been working with Python lists so much, we know that if you want to work with lists to pick out a number in list, we call it slicing or indexing. Maybe you want to pick a number. We have those two kind of methods in list. We can also do that for NumPy. We can also do that for NumPy. And we know in Python, a number starts with 0. You count from a 0 in Python, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we want to print index 0. Can someone type what will be the answer here? Can you type it in the chat box? Index 0, we want to print index 0 from this NumPy array 1, 2, 3, 4. What would be index 0? What would be index 0? I'm waiting for the answer in the chat box. Is anybody there?
Yes.
Was okay, 1. Thank you for the answer. 1, that's index 0. So same with index 1 will be 2, index 3 will be, index 1 will be 2, index 2 will be 3, index 3 will be 4. So for this line 25, can someone just type in the answer? It's a practical section, so I believe we should be following along. So array 2, index 2, and array index 3, what is the answer? Can someone type the answer in the chat box? Index 2 and index 3, what is the answer? We want to add array. Thank you. I don't know, maybe I'll get your name correctly, the pronunciation. Injeru. I'm not sure, maybe I got it. So thank you for that answer. That's the answer for that. So for 2D array, it is always tricky. 2D array is tricky, very tricky, but it's so simple to know. Number 1, we have 2 boxes. We have 2 square brackets. This O, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, everything inside this square brackets, we call it, this is the 0 first array. 0 array, that means the index, that's the first array. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is index 2, and this is the second array. We know that. Then For each of these numbers inside the arrays, they now have their own separate index. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Same year, 0, starting from 6 again, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. They have their own numbers. So for you, you have to consider both when you are doing that. So let's, for this now, we want to print the first one, 5th element on second row. 5th element of second row, we are printing 10. So first of all, you know, this, let me explain easily, something that you understand. This is index 0 or array 0, and this is array 1. So any array you want to pick first, that's what will come first in this first line, where this one is. Assuming you are picking from array 0, it is the 0 from that will be here, but you are picking from array 1, so 1 will be here, and this 4 we also now indicates the number, the index of that what you want to pick in the array. So we are picking from array 1 and index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, index 4. So that will give us 10. From here, we also know that you can do negative indexing. If you are counting from the back, you already know. So it's still the same thing. It's going to give us the same thing. This is -1, this is -2, -3, -4. You get? So -1 also will give us 10. So let me just do a simple class work and see what we will print. Print a array. So what will this give us? What will this give us? Who can tell us what will that give us? What will that give us? Array is 0, 3. We want to index, want to pick that index. I'm still waiting. In the chat box, you can drop it. What will that give us? Okay. Thank you, Flora, for that answer. Let's run that so and see our answer. 4. So she's correct. 4. It's going to give us 4. So let me give another example. 1, 1. What will array 1, 1 give us? Array 1, 1 give us. What will array 1, 1 give us? Array 1, 1. Array 1, 1 give us. Should I run it? I'm not seeing answers. Okay. Someone said 1, someone said 7, someone said 1. Okay. Someone said 7 again. Okay. Let's run it and let's see the answer. 7. So it's so simple. I know it's confusing, yeah. So this is, I told you that this one, the first one, counts as the index of the array. This is 0, 1. This is the 1, 1. Then the second one counts as the index of the content in the array. This is 0, 1. So this is index. So the last one under this, so that we'll all just is 0, comma -3. Okay, what will this give us? Is 0 minus 3. What will this give us? Is 0 minus 3. What is 0 minus 3? What will that give us? 3. Okay. 3. Flora 3. Chelsea 3. 0. 0. Do we have 0 in the list of index? Okay. 3. Okay, Shem. Okay. Okay, so let me run that and let's see the answer. 3. Yeah, congratulations to the 3. You have the answer. Yeah. So this one, the 3 array indexes, this one, I'm sure it's a lot of confusion, but I know we'll get this too. So, but if you can get the method of indexes, I'm sure it makes everything so easier. So let's just do this. It works as the same thing. So we have 3-dimensional array. 3-dimensional array. This is our array, and we want to pick things from each of these array. So if you talk about 3-dimensional array, how will I say, okay, we have these 2 arrays in the same, they are all grouped together, and we have these other 2 grouped together. We have 2 grouped together, another 2 grouped together. I'm sorry, excuse me. Okay, we have both grouped together, so that's the difference between 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional. So now we want to print the 3rd element of the 2nd array of the 1st array. That sounds confusing, but okay. 3rd element of the 2nd array of the 1st array. Look at this. This is the 1st array. These 2 elements together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the 1st array. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's the 2nd array. Inside the 1st array, we have 2 arrays. And inside the 2nd array, we have another 2 arrays. Do we all get that? Please, if you get it, just indicate in the chat box, so that just indicate yes if you get it. So we have in this array, 3-dimensional, we have 2 kind of array. In the 2 kind of array, each one are having 2 array. So is okay. Let me just do this example so that we'll get it. So yeah, we want to print the element of the 2nd array of the 1st array. 3rd element of the 2nd array of the 1st array. Let me run this so that we see it. So 3rd element of the 2nd array. This is 0, 1. This is the 2nd array of the 1st array. This one is the 2nd array of the 1st array, and this 6 is the 3rd element of that 2nd array. I'm not sure, maybe. Okay. Okay, I just believe we are getting it. So let me just give an example so that I'll be sure whether you are getting it. So now the 1st array, this is 0 means the index of the whole array as a group. This is index, these 2 array, this one and this one are having array index 0, and these 2 are having index 1. Then the 2nd line, this one is now having 0 and 1. This 2nd one too is having 0 and 1. And this index here is now 0, 1, 2. I don't know if let me just, I don't know what I can, let me just type so that I like it when I'm explaining, people get what I'm doing. So let me just comment this out so that we get it. So this 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6. I'm just doing this because I know there are some people that are just beginners in data science, so that we all will get it, not just for those that have gone deep into it. So I'm sorry, shame. I'm sorry. I will try to make it easier. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6 is index 1 as a group. As a group. Then 7, 8, 9, and 10, 11, 12 is index. Sorry, not index 1. Sorry, index 0. Index 0, and this one is index 1 as a group. I told you Python we can't start counting from 0. So as a group, anything if you hear, and that is why this one is having 0, because index the group you first put as a group, first one, then the second one as separately, not as a group now, separately, 1, 2, 3 is having index 0, separately, then separately again, sorry, excuse me, I'm coming. Okay, sorry, I'm coming. Let me just, I need to create something for this here.
Okay, so just before she comes back, we're not posting on Twitter. Let's go and engage on Twitter. The person in the highest post today will go brag. So, engage on Twitter. The account is with Akure. Engage on Twitter. Post. Let's know how you feel about the event. Let's know what you are learning so far. Make sure you post, and don't forget the person in the highest post is going to get a reward after the event.
Okay, sorry for that. I just need to sort this little game out. So as separately, 1, 2, 3 is having index 0. Then separately, 7, 8, 9 also is having index 0. So if you are still following me, can you just give me an indication in the chat box so that if I need to go over it, if it's this we get for today, I'm satisfied. So if you are still here, okay, thank you for that, Shem. So the second index here, it always indicates the separation index of when they are separated. So separately also, 4, 5, 6 we carry index 1, then separately 10, 11, 12 we carry separate index. So did we get that? So this first 0 represents the index they carry as a group, that element carry as a group. The second one represents the index that one carry separately. And these 2, the last one represents the index it carries as an element. As an element inside 4, 5, 6. 4 carry 6 carry index 6. So that's just the meaning of that. So when you see array 0, 1, 2, so they mean as a group, this 4, 5, 6, 6 is under what is index 0 as a group. That's 4, 5, 6. And 1, what is index 1 separately? It means that you are picking from here also. This is index 1. Then separately, that's index 6. So that will give us 6. So let me just do an example so that we'll not waste time because time is already going. Let me just do an example and see. I think there should be a reward for anybody that gets this right. So I'll personally give the person, those that get it right, within how many seconds? Within 1 minute. So let's just let me see. As okay. So what will this give us? What will this give us? 8, Shem, 8, okay. Is it only Shem that is telling us the answer? Should we go with Shem? Shem, Chelsea 8, okay. Let me just run this and see. Yeah, so 8 is the correct answer. So thank you all for that. So let's do another 0, 1. Okay, 0, 1, 1. What's the answer? Is 0, 1, 1. Can you please help us mute Francis? So, Shem 5, Shem 4, Chelsea 5. Okay, let's see who else is giving us answer. Who else is giving us an answer? Laura 5, Shem 5. Okay, you've changed it. Okay, right. Let's run it. Okay, 5, correct. So that's just how to index for 3-dimensional array. So as simple as that. So let's go to slice list. So this is a 1-dimensional array. We all know slicing, so it should not be difficult for us. For 1-dimensional array, it just works as list. So we have 0, 1, 1. And remember, when you are slicing a list, this index 5 will not be part of what we show. So if you are counting 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stops at 6. This is index 5, 6 is index 5. It will not print out 6, it will only print out 2, 3, 4, 5. So we should just put that in mind. So for here, if you are slicing, if you put dot, it means 4 to the end. Simple as that. 4 to the end. This means beginning from the beginning to 4. Means that 1 is 0, 1, 2, 3. So it will not 0, 1, 2, 3. It will not pick index 4. It will not pick index 4. So this negative indexing, we know negative indexing. That's -1, -2, -3. So index 3 to the end to index 1. So is -1, -2, -3. So it's as simple as that. So this very easy too. This just means most people don't really know what this means. So what this means is that you are starting from index 1 and you are stopping at index 5, but you are jumping 2 numbers. So what you pick is 2, you jump 1, you pick the next one, you jump and pick the next one. Assuming it's stopping as 7. So okay, let me put an example. Let me put an example and see who will get this. So you are just jumping. What will be the array? You can just put the 2 numbers or 3 numbers or whatever. 1, 1, 6, 2. Can someone give us the answer? What will that be? Oh, okay. What will that be? So that's just, I will be rounding up very soon. So what will that answer be? I just have less than 10 minutes to go, less than 10 minutes to go. So what's the answer? 135, okay? 135. 135. So let's run that and see. Let's see. 246. So the answer is 246. So the meaning is that you are starting from index 0, 1. This is index 1. 1. You jump 1, go to index 4. The next index, you jump 1, you go to the next index. That's just the meaning of this. So the first array, this first 2 means that from where you will start from where to beginning. And this 2 means how many steps you'll be missing. You'll be missing before you pick the next. This is 1, 1, 2. You pick the next 2, 1, 2. You pick the next 2. That's just how it works. So year 1357, it just works the same way. This code is almost the same thing as this. It just means that you are starting from the old beginning to the end, where you are jumping, you are picking every 2 code, every 2. So 0, you pick this. You start from the first one, okay, you pick the first one, 1, 2, you pick the next one, 1, 2, you pick the next one, 1, 2, you pick the next one. So let me give an example before that and just see what we would. So that we'll just pay. So what will this code give us? I'm not sure if people are getting this part. If you are getting it, can you just indicate that, yeah, I'm getting it, so that I will know. Okay, Shem. Okay, 36. Okay. Okay, let me just run this. Let's see the answer. 147. It seems as if people are not getting it. So if you see 2 dots and there's nothing in front, means that starting from the beginning till the end. Okay, this code, maybe I'll just end with explaining this part and we'll call it a day. This code is different from this code. This one means that you want to pick elements from the beginning to index 3. So this code, can someone type what this second code will give us in the chat box? Using this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what will that give us in the chat box? What with that, this second line of code, array index, you are just slicing to 3. I'm waiting so that we'll round up. Less than 5 minutes more to go. This second code, this second line of code, what will it give us? Second line of code. Second line. Chelsea, Shem, I'm waiting for you guys. I think you guys are the most engaging. Then Wale too. Wale. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah, you got it right. So this is the meaning of the second line of code. But this third line of code means you are slicing everything, but you do not want to just pick it normally. You want to pick it with style. You are not just picking everything normally. You want to pick it with style. You want to be picking it every third index. That's what you want to pick. Every third index. So for this one, it means you are picking the first one. Okay, first you count is 0, 1, is 0. You start from this one with 0, 1, 2, 3. You are picking the third index. From this place, this 4 again, you are counting in 0, 1, 2, 3. You are picking the third index. So that's the meaning of this code right here. That's just the meaning. So we can just go ahead to practice it on our own at home and practice it on our own. So the last question of the day under this part, although I think I'm done, I'm almost done. I'm not sure if I would be able to finish. Okay, let me just, okay, there are other data type in NumPy, not just float, integer. So there are a lot of other data type that you can have inside in NumPy. So, and that's just, I think that's the last thing. And the last thing also is slicing a 2D array. This part also is just as easy as what I've explained above in terms of indexing. You guys got indexing, so it's easy for you to get this 0 and this 1. So if you are picking 1, you want to pick from this index and you want to pick index 1 to 4. 1 to 4 from this index. So that's as easy as that. So same here from here too, as easy as that. From both elements, you want to return index 2. So it's as easy as that. So I think that's all for this class. We are done. Although I could not go into Pandas, we've taken our time with NumPy. So if you guys have learned something today, can you just indicate in the chat box? Well, if you've gained something, we could not go into Pandas. We just NumPy today. Just indicate as I will be rounding up. So thank you all for listening and engaging. It was fun. Thank you so much. Thank you.